I really do count myself as a very long-standing friend of India. And of course, when I was a Member of Parliament, I had a very Indian constituency. So it was very clear to me when I became Trade and Industry Secretary, Cabinet Minister, that the trade and the economic ties between India and Britain, although they were strong, they weren't as strong as they should have been. Just as India is a natural place for British companies that want to expand into Southern Asia and the broader Asian region to go to, so the UK is the obvious place for Indian companies to come to when they want to expand into the wider European market. So I've always thought the opportunities were huge, and I still think they're huge today. In fact, they're a great deal bigger because of India's extraordinary growth than I thought they were 10, 15 years ago. Especially for a smaller British company, I think one of the biggest challenges is the sheer size of India and how complex and how diverse it is. You know, it's a bit like an Indian company saying, right, I'm going to go into Europe, so I'll get on a plane. Well, actually, Europe is many different countries. India is many different states, many different cities. So thinking before you go to India about where you go. You don't just have to go to Delhi or Mumbai. Actually, it might make much more sense for you to be going to one of the Tier 2 cities, or to be thinking quite carefully about which state might have a particular cluster of businesses or consumers that are going to be, you know, natural partners and customers for your particular product or service. I think there's great scope for collaboration between India and Britain in healthcare, and obviously, having been Cabinet Minister for Health, you know, I'm really keen to see that happen. I recently was in Delhi for a wonderful roundtable event about potential collaboration in primary healthcare, and the critical thing that came out of that was we both have so much to learn from each other. I mean, Britain has a wonderful primary healthcare system, but actually the innovation, the developments, the frugal innovation that is going on in India is something that the NHS itself very badly needs, because given the state of government finances right across Europe, you know, Western health services have to become far more efficient, and they can learn how to be far more efficient and how to get world-class results and world-class technology for far less than the normal cost, Western cost, by partnering with Indian companies. I think in medical technology, and perhaps most of all in healthcare skills, where India has very big needs, not so much for doctors, they train doctors brilliantly, but for associated healthcare professionals, so your paramedics, your ambulance technicians, your laboratory technicians, all that sort of thing. Britain has got, you know, one of the world's best vocational and professional training systems, internationally recognized qualifications. There's a great deal, I think, that we can do together there. Although obviously investment flows have dropped off a bit in the last couple of years simply because of the impact of the global financial crisis, and indeed inward investment into India has dropped off as well, Britain is still absolutely number one for Indian companies that are looking to expand into Europe. We are the obvious place to come, and we are still a very business-friendly environment. In terms of the help, I think the British government and UK Trade and Investment is very good at supporting and encouraging inward investors, talking to Indian companies who are thinking about where they might go, and just finding out what it is they're really looking for, and then helping them to find, you know, the right location, get through any difficulties they may have, although, you know, you don't have to get anything much in the way of permission to do business in Britain. We treat foreign companies coming in here, Indian or other companies coming in here, exactly as we would treat a British company. So there's absolutely no discrimination, and I think that's part of what makes this very attractive. The piece UK-India Business Council can do is help ensure that those Indian companies who are perhaps newcomers to Britain then get into a network of British companies who are themselves interested in India, and that gives them more of a network here in Britain, as well as perhaps expanding their network even further in India.